come on, you know you're less flexible than a 9 to 5 office job, and Pilates has become the new smashed avocado on toast at your favorite cafe. So let me take you through a Pilates routine, which I tried for the first time, which will have you activating muscles you didn't even know you had. One of the key ideas in Pilates is to engage the muscles in a coordinated way. So different to a gym routine where you might just go and absolutely smash things as hard as you can, this is about coordination, activation, and controlled engagement. And not a problem if you don't have a reformer, because I'm also going to showcase how you can do the similar exercise with just a band or even without a band at all. So this first one is really targeting the engagement of the glute muscles, which we know are so important for your running, really getting that extension of the leg as you push off. And if you don't have the reformer, let's get you on a band for this one, doing some donkey kicks. Again, really focusing on engaging the glutes without getting any rotation through the hips. Okay, you need to take this one pretty seriously, because as you see me wobble about, you'll be face deep in the reformer if you don't control your core in this one. And it's actually pretty hard to get the coordination of. Like, I'm pretty coordinated, and it was actually kind of jolting me around a bit, and you don't want to be that guy who wished he'd stuck to the 5-minute stretching routine instead of hopping on the Pilates reformer for the first time. So just watch that one, and yeah, make sure you got your core switched on and you're engaging and controlling that motion. Then we're moving on to this one, which is a slightly funny movement. You're going to feel your core a bit. It's not the hardest core exercise, but it's that lengthening through the abdomen that is going to start to strengthen you up in that movement. And then we're continuing on in the same position, but instead of being core focused, this is more shoulder focused. So you're now pushing through your arms, getting that stretch, I guess, through the lats, also a bit of activation around the shoulders. Not a bad one. The reformer is not set to a heavy resistance, so it's just a moderate engagement while also stretching yourself out. And then watch your balance here. You don't want to go flying off. But now you're going to incorporate, this is where that coordination comes in, because you've got to stay balanced while you're getting a bit of a hip flexor stretch on that right side. And then you're also getting a bit of glute engagement as you push that sled back with your leg. People do use like poles and things that you can kind of hold into the ground for a bit of stability, but ideally you're doing it without that to really challenge that balance aspect as well. And there's all these different things you can adjust. So we've put the bar down there, then standing on the side. This is now targeting the outside of the hip, and that's going to work on moving your leg outwards, which again is really important for the control of the pelvis. You'll find if you're weak in this muscle region, then your pelvis will want to drop on the opposite side. So even as you run, as you step up, if you don't have good control, once you take one leg off the ground, your pelvis will tilt down. So you need that strength here to keep yourself level. And then always love a good back stretch. So this one's like your cobra. So find foot position that's comfortable for you. You can clearly tell I'm a rookie trying to figure out where to place my feet, but letting this, essentially it's the exact same as the cobra stretch, except the sled helps push you into a bit more range. So if you've got a bit of an irritable back, then doing this on the ground first would probably be ideal anyway, because if you're really letting the sled push you more into that range, it might be a bit uncomfortable. But I found this to be quite a good stretch. And what you'll notice is a lot of these movements are whole body movements. So you really got to get a good sense of your postural awareness, and that's going to help you on the field and just in everyday life with things like posture, making sure you're not getting too tight in all your areas around your body. Now we're starting to challenge some rotational component through the core. So as you will start to hear me a lot, we need to work in different movements for the core. So it's not just sit-ups all day. We need to work on things like rotation that are working your core in different movements. So this one, very similar to a kind of Russian twist idea. And you can see that now on the screen, which I'm giving you an alternative for if you don't have the reformer. So just substitute that one out. Again, another core one here. So very similar to the dead bug exercise. This is more your straight forward and backward motion rather than a rotational one. And like with all exercises, you want to make sure you're in a good breathing routine. This is quite a big focus in Pilates to make sure you're controlling your breath and you're not really holding and bracing through movements. And when you're engaging new muscles or doing things that are a bit hard, the tendency is to start holding your breath. So just learning to focus on your breath a bit more and just breathing in and out, get into a bit of a rhythm. Not that you have to exactly time in, 2, 3 and out like that. Nothing like that. Keep it simple, but just make sure you are breathing in a nice steady rhythm. This is a bit of a progression up from some of the earlier ones we did because now your knees aren't supported. So because we've only got the feet supported, it just challenges you a bit harder, almost like going from a plank on your knees to a plank on your feet.